You want me to talk about them? All right, sure. These are definitely one of the coolest and nicest looking Cory cats available in the hobby. They're little ones right now, but this is the C005 Pentanal Cory, or Pantanal. These guys originate in southern Argentina, or southern Brazil and Argentina, and are impossible to get as wild fish, but only from one of our sources in Asia are these available as tank raised specimens. And it's not consistent, it's not all year, but I was really happy to be able to bring these in. They don't look like that much right now, but the males develop this unbelievable spotted or reticulated pattern as they get big. They're one of the prettiest Cory cats out there with a max size of like 2.5 inches too, so not small. These guys are super cool, and at this size, you can just start to see the males develop in color. So they're a pretty good value for what you're going to get, and I think at this price point, retail, you can sell these no problem to customers who know what they're looking for and want something rare and spectacular. So another one of those really ungettable fish for a long time is the zebra pleco L46, probably the most iconic of all plecos. Again, ungettable as a wild fish. They've been illegal to export from Brazil for decades. There were some that were smuggled out here and there, but in terms of legal fish, these guys have been super hard to come by. We got a nice shipment of Taiwan tank raised little babies. They're not cheap, but this is one of the most beautiful plecos out there, if not the most. And as of this month, they go on CITES 2, so that's an upgrade from their current listing of CITES 3, which means imports of these are going to be impossible for a while and possibly forever. So this is a real last chance to get for quite some time as tank raised babies. They're just totally once a year, if that, fish, and I'm super excited to see them every time they show up, is the baby Zebrina pikes. So I already showed off some of the big zebra pikes we've had, and it's just the most spectacular of all pike cichlids. Now, getting them as tiny little babies only happens once in a while. There's only a few collectors who know where to get them. It's a 1 week plus journey to get them, and only happens for a short time of year when the water levels are right to be able to collect these. They don't look like that much, but if you want to get a zebra pleco that's already adapted to captivity, eating prepared foods, super healthy, and will grow up to be a show fish, this is a way to do it. These guys are, again, for the last 2 years, we didn't see any baby zebrinas coming into the country. This is the first time in 2, maybe 3 years I've seen them. Another fish that I'm always happy to see here is the inspector pleco, Hypancistris inspector, the true one. These guys had been misidentified in the trade for a long time, a real rarity that only once in a while ever showed up. They are the biggest Hypancistris you'll ever see. And these guys come from a place that I'm particularly familiar with because I've been there and collected these with some of the fishermen. These guys come from the extreme upper Rio Negro in Colombia. This place called San Felipe is a small town there on the Venezuela border. This is a beautiful fish that gets big, showy. You can see that black seam on the dorsal fin. That's one of the ways you can identify them from some of the closer looking cousins like Contradens and other Hypancistris. But this is just a gorgeous fish that gets big, is super hardy, and shows up and shows off really nicely in a tank. Yeah, they're good. Another one of my favorite rare or occasional imports that's so cool to see is a true freshwater blenny, the top hat blenny. They're named, obviously, for that funny little appendage they've got on the head that just looks like a little hat that they're wearing. They're super personable, super interesting, intelligent, active, and these guys come to us from southern Taiwan and coastal areas. They're only found there and parts of China. Pretty rare import, not cheap, but unbelievably unique. One of maybe 2 or 3 true freshwater blennies that are found in the world. Another Asian import I was super excited to see, and my first time being able to actually bring these into the US at this kind of quality, is the chili red Oscar. That fish has been kind of a myth for a really long time, where I've seen pictures of them on the internet. I've had customers show me pictures of them and ask if we could please get them. I've brought in several different types of Oscar that were claimed to be that on a list and never looked anything like what I've seen online. These guys are truly fire red all throughout the body. They look spectacular. They're at a nice size, And so we're really excited to offer these for the first time for Carolina Aquatics, the Red Chili Oscar. I don't think these will last long, but I do have our breeders working on getting more. Another super unique fish that I just love bringing in when I can, that's not very readily available, but just undeniably cool, is this predatory fish. It's a labyrinth fish in the same family as the gouramis. Even though it looks like a pike or a pike kerasin, these guys are genuinely just like a gourami, an air breather with a labyrinth organ. And these come to us from Borneo. This is the peppermint crocodile pikehead, Luciacephalus aura. They're unique swamp dweller from Southeast Asia, found in blackwater swamps, really warm, acidic waters. And they've evolved, just like many other fish have, to be a very fast-moving ambush predator. So these guys, despite their looks, they don't look like they have much of a mouth. They don't look like they're very active predators. They mostly hang out. But as soon as small fish get near them, they dart and inhale them. They're really, really impressive to watch in action. They're peaceful towards anything that they can't eat, and so make for a really unique aquarium fish. Classic hobby fish that just is so, so cool to see at a large size. It's something that if you get a shop and you want something for a big centerpiece display that is unmissable, nobody walking through the shop is going to walk by this and not see it. The watermelon royal pleco, L330. These guys, you can see where they get their name with that beautiful spotted pattern throughout. They look like a football, basically. That's a big, bulky fish, super hardy, super unique. These guys come to us from the Rio Guaviare and Orinoco tributaries in Colombia. They're a wood eater like most pinaques, plecos in that genus. These guys chew on driftwood all day. They make a huge mess in the aquarium, but with that pattern and that coloration, it's super worth it. They're a beautiful, beautiful fish. One of the nicest looking plecos, and one of my favorite fish for a long time. That I was so excited to be able to bring in something that just, when I got started in the hobby, I started working with freshwater stingrays early on. I kept a lot of different species and imported a lot of different ones. The idea of an albino stingray was just a dream, or maybe, you know, an old picture that had been passed around you'd see once in a while pop up, but nothing that anybody knew was real. And with captive breeding in Southeast Asia, for the most part, several different lines of albino stingrays are now available. These are albino pearl rays, Podoma trigon Djibouti, a recently described ray from the Tapajós system in Brazil. They're a beautifully patterned species that as they grow, the pattern becomes more intricate and variable. And to see these in the flesh is so, so cool. They're just spectacular showpiece fish. Not cheap by a long shot, but something that's just a once-in-a-lifetime kind of a holy grail fish. That's, you know, the epitome of freshwater fish keeping. Really, really nice bettas in stock. Bettas have always been one of my favorite fish to bring in and sell, and the explosion of different color forms and fin shapes and just absolutely amazing bettas that have come out of the last decade or so of selective breeding, it just never fails to amaze. Some of these fish were, again, just kind of dreams a long time ago. You'd see a picture, and now they're fairly readily available. So we got some amazing half moons, amazing giant bettas, amazing shortfin or PLAKAT. And I just truly enjoy unpacking and checking the bettas every single week when we get shipments in, because it's, no matter what, you're going to find some that just blow your mind. And it's a real temptation not to take home one or two every week. These guys here are new. These are elephant ear platinum half moons. So they've got the half moon fins as well as that Dumbo or elephant ear pectorals. Beautiful, pure, crisp white, no imperfections, no spots of coloration. These guys have been selling really, really well, and I can see why. This is a showy fish. We also have some pretty amazing, these black samurai placats that we got in from Thailand. And now that fish is just, you know, 8-10 years ago, this would be a $200 fish in Thailand. Now that they're a little bit more regularly bred, it's so cool to see. There's a little bit of variability in them, but they all have that metallic scales. They have that beautiful streaking through the fins, jet black coloration, big heavy body type. This is a standard classic fighter type betta. These guys were the original bettas bred in Thailand hundreds of years ago to fight. And you can see that, and you can see that ferocity in them even still. Oh yeah, there we go. This is another just absolutely spectacular fish, and you know, unfortunately, it's still in the bag. We just got these in, but um, this is a longfin giant koi half moon betta. This is a male, and these guys get almost twice the size of a standard longfin betta. Just a massive fish. I have a couple at home that are just incredible, and these guys have the classic koi coloration, that modeling that's just really, really beautiful, and they also have long fins. The original koi strain, of course, was a short fin, so to see them with those long flowing fins like a standard half moon is really cool. We got some really spectacular males and females available with these. This is really, really nice looking Dumbo or elephant ear, of course named for those giant pectoral fins that look like elephant ears. These are golden short fin half moon elephant ears. So the gold base color, bright white platinum Dumbo ear fins, just amazing, amazing fish. Really showy. Looks great in a small planet aquarium, or I mean, that's a centerpiece fish for sure.